Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Siti SALWA. Today, we will be presenting the findings and discussions, infographic, limitations and recommendations, and the conclusion of our DSC651 mini project entitled The U.S. Air Pollution. The members of this group are Nur Annisa binti Zulkifili, Nur ATIQAH binti GHAZALI, and Siti AISHAH binti Muhammad RIDZUWAN from group NCS2496B1. I, Nur Annisa binti Zulkifili, will start with the presentation by proceeding with the findings and discussions. In this section, few charts are created in order to discover meaningful insights and information in the U.S. pollution dataset. The first chart shows the number of stations by state and year. The first chart shows the number of stations in which the air pollution is monitored, classified by the states in the United States of America from the year 2000 until 2016. Generally, it can be deduced from the horizontal stacked bar chart that California is the state which records as the highest number of monitor stations through the mentioned years. As mentioned earlier, California is obviously the state with the highest number of monitor stations. This is probably due to the fact that California requires annual evaluation of its air quality monitoring network, which consists of over 700 monitors at 250 sites, in order to document the current status and improvement of ambient air quality. Hence, this is the reason to why California has the highest total number of monitor stations throughout the year 2000 until 2016. The second state which comes after California as the highest number of monitor stations is Pennsylvania. However, the difference between the number of air monitor stations in California and Pennsylvania is ridiculously large, despite Pennsylvania maintaining the average number of stations each year. This is probably due to the annual evaluation of California's air quality, which was stated earlier. Alaska and Washington are the two states out of 8 states which are chosen in the United States of America which did not maintain the number of air pollution monitoring stations. It can be seen from the graph that they did not maintain the stations for each year, as they are monitoring stations for only a few years. The second chart shows the map of the United States with the average air quality index, or AQI, of the 4 pollutants. The 4 pollutants are nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and ozone. The states which are shaded deep orange are assumed to have AQI level which is higher than the other states. California is the state with the highest number of air pollution monitoring stations. Hence, it is the best to utilize the average AQI of the pollutants instead of the sum of the AQI of the pollutants. From the map, it can be deduced that Pennsylvania, Indiana, and California are seen to be the states which have the highest AQI average of the 4 pollutants, but are still considered as moderate air condition. For California, this is probably contributed by the annual major wildfires that have been burning their forests, which resulting in the high AQI reading of the 4 pollutants. Indiana gained high AQI level from the ozone pollutant, or smogs, which are created by the reaction of sunlight on emissions from vehicles and other sources. As for Pennsylvania, it was probably caused by the U.S. Steel's Clairton plant, which produces a high carbon fuel used to make steel, which had 6,700 air quality violations between the years 2012 and 2015. However, despite the fact that these states' air conditions are not classified as unhealthy yet, it is still essential to reduce the AQI level of each of the air pollutants for future purposes.
This chart is about the average air quality index AQI of 4 pollutants by 4 selected states. For this chart, the researchers are sort out the states' 4 air average pollutants of air quality index, which are carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone and sulfur dioxide, and that's local from the year 2000 until 2016, to displaying a calendar in the following format. In this figure, provide a 4 pollutants calendar for Indiana, Pennsylvania, California, and Texas that potentially mean to the hazardous condition from the map before. Essentially, The chart are shown the average air quality index for all 4 air pollutants, which are carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone and sulfur dioxide, is in Indiana is higher compared to the other states. Carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide is a colorless gas forms when the carbon in fuels does not completely burn, while nitrogen dioxide is produced when coal and oil fuels are burned and forms a photochemical smoke. By then, Indiana is known as the 5th largest producer of ethanol in the nation and ranked 8th among the states in the coal production and 2nd in coal consumption. Moreover, Indiana state was the largest end-use energy, which include chemicals, steel and agriculture consuming for industrial sectors. For that reason, it was proved that in this chart that that Indiana was the highest potentially to the hazardous condition. Other than that, the AQI for almost all 4 states was shown the decreasing of index value from the year 2000 until 2016. However, in the California and ozone air pollutants, it shows the slightly increase from the year 2013 until 2015 with the worst ozone pollution. This study shows that pollutants prevalence in California are linked to the several health issues, including asthma, lung cancer, birth complications, and premature death. Nevertheless, based on this figure, shows that Indiana, Pennsylvania, and California are seen to be the highest hazardous caused by the total average from the 4 air pollutants. Since that, the AQI values of Indiana, Pennsylvania, and California is nearly the highest index compared to the Texas states. Overall, the AQI value for all 4 states in the moderate stage, and the air quality is still acceptable.
The next graph shows the average air quality index AQI of each pollutant in every quarter from year 2000 to 2015. This graph makes use of 5 different attributes from United States pollution datasets, which are attribute year, air quality index of each pollutant such as carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone and sulfur dioxide. From the graph, it shows the trend of every quarter in each year from 2000 until 2015. In overall, it could be seen the air quality index AQI of each pollutants are decreasing. This shows the air quality in the 8 states are becoming healthier. Also, for both of pollutants, carbon monoxide and also nitrogen dioxide has similar trend in every quarter of each year, such that the AQI of the pollutants are high at the first and fourth quarters of the year, while the AQI of the pollutants in the second and third quarters of the year are low. As for ozone, its AQI is low at the first and fourth quarters on every year, while in second and third quarters are high. Like what I have stated earlier, the air quality in the 8 states are becoming healthier. This could be because of the effectiveness of the Clean Air Act of 1963, where it is a United States federal law designed to control air pollution on a national level. In 2006, the act has been practiced regularly by the government that results to better air quality. Hence, the United States can continuously implement the Clean Air Act to improve the air quality and health of US citizens. For your information, carbon monoxide is produced from the combustion of carbon-containing fuels such as gasoline, natural gas, oil, wood, and many others, especially vehicle emissions. While nitrogen dioxide is also produced from combustion process, but mostly it is emitted by motor vehicle, gas stoves, unvented heaters, and many more. In average, both of the pollutants, carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide, have high value of air quality index AQI in the first and fourth quarters of the year. The first and fourth quarters are autumn and winter season respectively. Those seasons where the temperature are cold and lots of combustion are happening for heating purpose that worsens the quality of the air. Usually, in engines and vehicle emissions equipment operates less efficiently in cold temperature, and it takes longer time for the vehicle to fully operate that leads to higher vehicle emissions. While ozone is usually formed during warmer months of the year, such as in second and third quarters where spring and summer season take place. That is why the AQI of ozone at second and third quarters are high. Sources of ozone other than warm temperature are lawn mowing, bushfires, motor vehicle exhaust fumes, and many more. In conclusion, the graph able to reveal some of the sources of each pollutant from each quarter in those 8 states. Hence, the citizens or government can establish certain measurement to ensure the quality of the air in the 8 states or even United States are in a good condition in every quarter or season. The next graph shows the average air quality index AQI of each pollutants in every city in the 8 states chosen in this study. This graph makes use of 6 attributes from the data sets, which are AQI of each pollutants, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone and sulfur dioxide, and also attribute SITI and AQI level. In average, AQI of nitrogen dioxide, ozone and sulfur dioxide are in a good and satisfactory level. Hence, there are no serious measures need to be done immediately to ensure the air quality for those 3 pollutants. However, the AQI of carbon monoxide is not in a good condition, where majority of the cities are having moderate to very poor quality for the pollutant, especially Hawthorne, Bakersfield, Calexico, San Diego, and many more, where those cities have high AQI value that could lead to some serious effects. Hawthorne and Bakersfield are cities that have rapidly become major manufacturing cities, and that result to cities' severe pollution and health crises in those areas. This is because carbon monoxide affects both healthy and unhealthy people, where it can make vital organs such as brain, nerve tissues, and the heart do not receive enough oxygen to work properly. Due to the serious effects obtained from carbon monoxide, US government can take serious steps such as establish strict regulation of the Clean Air Act on the cities to lower the AQI and enhance the air quality and results to healthier environment. This also shows that major pollutant that contributes to those 8 states' air pollution is carbon monoxide. In conclusion, the government and public of United States can take serious actions in decreasing the form of carbon monoxide in the air in the future for their own benefits. The next figure shows the dashboard used to look at each individual city for a deeper analysis on the data. It shows the overall air quality of every city and the maximum air quality index value the city has ever reached from 2000 to 2016 for each pollutants. For an example, this figure shows the Bakersfield as the city chosen to look at for deeper analysis. From the figure, we can see that the value of air quality index AQI for ozone and sulfur dioxide in Bakersfield is in a good condition normally, such that 92.14% of all time, the ozone's AQI in Bakersfield is good, and as well as sulfur dioxide, where it reaches good condition of 99.64% of all time. As what have been stated before, carbon monoxide is the major pollutant that contributes to air pollution in the 8 states chosen. This could be seen in the figure above, where the major pollutant that contributes to Bakersfield air pollution is carbon monoxide, such that the highest AQI value it ever reached for the carbon monoxide is 40, where it is in severe condition. Also, The majority of 38.93% of all time in Bakersfield, the amount of carbon monoxide is in a good condition. However, the second majority is very poor and followed by poor condition. It shows how frequent Bakersfield air quality is not healthy due to carbon monoxide. Hence, Bakersfield can improve their air quality by ensuring that the manufacturing activities or others that could release carbon monoxide is being observed more seriously. Thus, this dashboard can be used to look at each of the city's source of pollution, and more actions can be suggested to improve their air quality.
Then this figure shows the mean of each air pollutants in United States that derive from the data set in part per million and part per billion of carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone and sulfur dioxide from the year 2000 until 2016. Set in 1997, the current national of United States of air quality standards for carbon monoxide and ozone was kept track in the part per million ppm and nitrogen dioxide and also for sulfur dioxide is in part per billion ppb before converted into the air quality index values. Then in a year 2000, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide and ozone was the highest mean of AQI values compared to the other next years. This may be due to the fewer of the improvement and technologies that can reduce the air pollutions from the nation. Moreover, ozone air pollutants are shows the poor condition with 0.095 ppm that must be alert, where the members of sensitive groups may experience health effects such as reduced lung function, asthma, chest pain, increased respiratory functions, and the others more. By then, the nations must be aware with the ozone exposure, especially in people with heart and lung disease. It was followed by the sulfur dioxide air pollution in 2001, which shows the moderate level with 81.25 ppb. This is due to the burning of high sulfur containing fuels by locomotive and non-road equipment and non-combustion industrial processes such as extracting metal from ore. Sulfur dioxide will affect human health when it is breathed and irritate the nose, throat and airways to cause coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, or tight feeling around the chest. But for the next other years, the improvement was shown and in a good level condition. In conclusion, the following years 2000 to 2016 of mean air quality index was reduced and shows the air quality benefits that lead to the improved health, longevity and quality of life for all United States people.
The next figure shows a donut stacked chart which demonstrates the first maximum value average of carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, and sulfur dioxide, respectively, of the chosen 8 states in the United States of America. From the figure, it can be deduced that there is a clear distinction between the values of the 4 pollutants by the 8 states. The first maximum value of these pollutants indicates the highest value of the pollutant in which were collected in a year. The figure shows that the highest value of carbon monoxide which was collected is 0.7907 from California, and the smallest value of the first maximum value of carbon monoxide is from Washington with a value of 0.2906. California's value is still considered as healthy, but it is nearing the moderate air condition. Illinois is the state which records the highest first maximum value of nitrogen dioxide with a value of 30.84, while Oregon being the lowest first maximum value, which is only 19.25. These values shows a clear distinction which is becoming a concern. The value that Illinois had reached is alarming as it is approaching the unhealthy level of air condition compared to Oregon, which is still maintaining its maximum level to be low. For the first maximum value of ozone, Indiana is the state with the highest value, which is 0.04477, while Alaska is the state with the lowest value, which is 0.01876. Again, these values are not classified as alarming values as they are still considered healthy based from the AQI level measurements, but it is important to not take advantage of this condition. Last but not least is the first maximum value of sulfur dioxide. For this pollutant, Alaska is the state which records the highest first maximum value, which is 9.505. On the other hand, Washington has the lowest value of the first maximum value of sulfur dioxide with 1.524. These values have a large difference between them, which shows how Alaska probably had some specific occurrences which leads to this value of sulfur dioxide. Although Alaska records the highest maximum value for sulfur dioxide, this state is not included in the top 3 high average AQI.
Then, this is the figure about the average of first maximum hour of each pollutants by years. The data that was obtained from the United States pollutants, it shows in this figure about the first maximum hour for each of the pollutants, which are carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, and sulfur dioxide. The attribute clarify about the first hour highest value in the year that hourly average concentrations measured by monitoring equipment. In this figure, the average of first maximum hour index values for all the 4 pollutants are indicated from the year 2000 until 2016. Based on this figure, it can generally indicate that the values for every years from the year 2000 until 2016 is literally similar. Apart from the results, the chart indicate that in the year 2000, the air pollution for carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, and sulfur dioxide is shown the highest value for first maximum hour among the entire years. However, for ozone air pollutions index for first maximum hour in the year 2016 was slightly higher compared to the another year. This revealed that the ozone air pollution in the United States are increasing among the years and may lead to the hazardous condition. This result equivalent with the troubled environmental issues in the United States, where including rising natural gas use, people doing more driving, industrial boiler, and the other sources chemically react in the presence of sunlight. In conclusion, the average first maximum hours for each of the air pollutants are still in a moderate level, and the general public is not likely to be affected. However, the public must still be aware and care to the hazards of air pollutions.
This is the infographic that we managed to produce from the information that we had gained from producing the charts. We have produced infographic which includes information of states with high air quality index, causes of air pollution, effects of air pollution, groups which are sensitive to air pollution, and also prevention measures. The limitations and recommendations. One of the limitations of this study is regarding the lack of data used for the study. The data of air monitoring stations in some states of specific years were not included in the dataset. This lack of data affected the results for this study as adequate input are required in order to produce precise outputs. Besides that, the dataset that was prepared by the user on Kaggle did not contain the exact time of the air monitoring stations, in which could help to discover the times of the readings that were recorded. It will then help to know at which period of time does the readings recorded as the highest, which allows the researcher to discover the source of pollution properly. Thus, the researcher of the future study should include the time of the readings to be able to determine the actual causes, whether it is during the working hours or at the end of working hours, where most people tend to go home using their vehicles. The researcher should also include the missing data of air monitoring of some of the states throughout few of the years. Conclusion. In a nutshell, the objectives of the study were achieved. The citizens of the United States of America is in a condition where they are living in polluted air. It can also be deduced that the top 3 of the most polluted states between the 8 states are California, Indiana, and Pennsylvania. This is due to the high average air quality index of the 4 pollutants. The polluted air consists of various kinds of pollutants, but 4 of the dangerous pollutants are sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and ozone. However, carbon monoxide can be denoted as the most dangerous compared to the other 3 pollutants, as high unintentional consumption of the mentioned pollutant could lead to death. Other effects of the pollutant are eye irritation, respiratory infection, and they are also capable of reducing lung function. The sensitive groups which might be affected horribly are the senior citizens, small kids, outdoor workers, and also asthma patients. Nevertheless, citizens of the United States are to take prevention measures such as wear suitable masks, close windows when needed, check air quality index regularly, avoid outdoor activities, use public transportation, avoid open burning, and utilizes air purifier. That will be all of our presentation regarding our mini project of DSC651. Thank you for listening.